Okay. So let's get started. I just want to talk to you really quick and see, did you practice last week?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. What did you practice and how did you practice it?
I practiced it, my kinesthetic, my diaphragm breathing. I keep on forgetting how the major pentatonic scale goes. I know it goes like or something like that.
That's very close. So it's do, re, mi, so, la, do.
Okay.
Yep, you were close. Yep. Re, mi, so, la, do.
Yeah.
Yeah. And think of it this way. Penta is 5.
Oh.
So there's only going to be 5 notes.
Oh.
Did you catch that?
Yeah.
Okay. Great. So, when you were practicing...
That's why they have 5.
There you go. So...
Then what does tonics mean? Like a scale or...
Yeah, tonic is like, here's your tonic.
Musical?
Yeah,
Oh.
if I play this, that's your tonic.
Oh, like your root?
Yes.
The root of a word?
Yeah. The first scale degree kind of thing.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. So, you said you practiced kinesthetics.
Yes.
How did you practice those?
I did the major scale, like I would go over, press like C on the piano and then an E, and then I would like look at my mirror and I would go like E.
Good.
Sort of like that.
Good. Did you do anything else with kinesthetics?
I'm pretty sure, what was it? Now I can't remember it.
That's okay.
Yep.
That's okay. So, and when you were breathing, how did you practice your breathing?
I put my hands on my stomach and I looked into a mirror,
Mm-hmm.
and I practiced unaudible breaths
Very
mostly, and I went like.
That's very good.
Yeah,
Yes.
things like that.
Perfect. Yeah, and you looked very relaxed. It was unaudible. Your jaw didn't seem to have a whole lot of tension or anything,
Yeah.
which is great.
I also practiced my placement,
Mm-hmm.
and I made sure it was like around my like nose, around here,
Yes.
behind my nose.
Yeah, perfect. And we call that what?
What's it called?
If you put something right here, what is it?
Mascular resonance.
Yeah, mask. The mask resonance.
Mask resonance. Not
Yeah.
Muscular. Okay.
Yeah, perfect.
Muscular.
Yes. So, that's all very good practice. Yeah, if
Okay.
you do that at least like a few times a week, and it
And
doesn't
I
take
did
very
this
long.
from...
Hang on, let me finish my thought.
Oh, yeah.
Okay, so if you practice that just a few times a week, and it doesn't take very long to practice those sorts of things, it'll vastly improve your singing technique.
Cool.
Okay, now what were you going to say?
I did that 5 to maybe 13 minutes every day.
Perfect. And really that's all it
Whenever
all
I
it
could
takes.
find time, if like I was bored and my cat was sleeping on my bed.
Yeah, those are great times to do those sorts of things.
Yeah.
Just those sorts of practice techniques you can fit in where you can.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's not like sit down and learn a new song or sit down and work out phrasing or stuff like that. So those are great things to do just whenever.
Normally I like do like all like my those things like my hey, it's Gene Hefty from my church. I do like things like my kinesthetic, my diaphragm breathing, pentatonic scales, and then I would sit down and like practice after like my 10 to 15 minutes of doing that.
Yeah.
I would sit down and practice my piano for like 20 minutes.
Yeah. And that's great.
I have like a musical time every day.
It's also good before you sing through music to do just a few of those nice low breaths to remind you and maybe warm up the voice so when you phonate, you're not phonating cold.
Yeah.
So do you remember what phonating means?
Phonating, it means...
I'm doing it right now.
Talking, making noise.
Exactly. It's making sound, producing sound.
Producing sound.
with your vocal
Also,
cords. Yeah.
during my church anthem, because I'm part of the choir,
Mm-hmm.
I made sure to do the diaphragm breathing, except I'm supposed to be holding my book and flipping pages.
Yeah.
Forward, back, forward, back, forward.
Mm-hmm.
So I did do diaphragm breathing during that.
Good. That's all very, very good stuff. I'm glad that you're applying these things because they will help you.
It comes in handy.
Yeah, they'll help you sing better, they'll help you sing longer,
Mm-hmm.
and they'll preserve your vocal health. So, I've already seen you do a couple of low breaths, which is great, and I'm assuming since you came from church that you're probably already warmed up?
Yeah.
Okay, great. So,
I just had like sandwiches and like not like sandwiches, but like they were cutting sandwiches into quarters.
So you
And
just ate?
Fellowship, yeah.
Okay, that's fine. That's really...
I ate like a Hershey's Kiss, literally.
That's okay. Don't sweat it.
Yeah.
Okay, so since it's our potentially last lesson,
I don't want this to be my last lesson.
well,
My mom said I have a choice of keep on going or stop now, and I want to keep on going. Lessons are fun. They're
yeah,
fun.
and you
You're
seem
nice.
to like actually apply the stuff that I'm giving to you.
Practicing, homework.
Yeah, which is great.
Yeah.
So, I want to talk about kinesthetics because we talked about that last time,
Mm-hmm.
and I'm glad that you brought it up because it seemed like you weren't really sure how to apply that in just regular singing, like in music itself instead of just warm-ups. So, we did This Little Light of Mine last time.
Yeah.
Okay.
And then we did Twinkle Twinkle Little Star somewhere before that.
Yeah, we did. So
I always have like the most random things in my memory. It's like literally I just remember a time from like preschool. I just can't get it out of my head.
Well,
we were in PE or some sort of physical fitness, and we were doing like this dance, and girl was in gymnastics, and we were all yelling for her. And she was doing like those backhand wheel things.
okay.
She was only like 4 years old. Yet
That is very impressive.
Yes.
Well, let's
She's
remember.
doing some sort of like break dancing thing.
Let's do This Little Light of Mine again.
All right.
And
Can I jazz it up?
I encourage you. Yeah, I encourage you to feel as free and as expressive as you like. Okay.
All right, good.
So,
That's what I do every time I sing it. I don't know why.
having said that, I want you to feel free and expressive, but I want you to use a kinesthetic. Now, we talked about it briefly last time, how to use that in a song. So, how would you do that with this song?
Like when you say mine, you sort of you do the kinesthetic, and you do like a sforzando sort of like bring it forward, bring it back, crescendo, decrescendo.
Yeah, you could
Things
shape
like
it
that.
that way.
Yeah.
You could shape it that way. Kinesthetics are just there to like remind your body of where you want to go and how you want to do things.
Yeah.
So if that's how you wanted to shape that phrase, this little light of mine.
Yeah, Laura does that a ton. Not like a ton, always. But it is pretty common in our songs.
Like sforzandos on the final note of a phrase?
No. Like here's an example. We have this song. It's called "The Living Water of Life,"
Uh-huh.
and during one part, it's like, "Drink deeply from the living water of life," and it goes like, and then later it goes like, "Drink deeply, drink deeply," and then it crescendos and goes into like the big finale.
Okay. That's very cool. I want you to hold on to that thought. Actually, no, let's not hold on to that thought. I want you to do that again.
Just an example.
Yeah, no, that's great. And it's something that you're working on right now.
Yeah.
So, drink deeply. Is that right?
Yeah, that's basically it.
Okay.
And then it sort of does this weird thing. Before it like ends the decrescendo, it goes back into a crescendo.
Okay.
And then it goes to like fortissimo and then
Yeah.
finale.
So, with that kind of a shape on your phrase, I'd like you to sing it again and use a kinesthetic to show me what you're wanting to achieve.
All right. Drink deeply, drink deeply.
Nice. Yeah. And there's really no wrong answer to kinesthetics.
Yeah.
It's just different interpretations that fit your
So,
body, and as long as what you're doing fits the phrasing that's being asked of you, then great. And I thought that worked well.
Good.
So let's try another phrase. So let's do This Little Light of Mine.
All right.
I want you to try to connect the first two chunks. So when it ends with mine and shine, that's all.
Don't really
one.
breathe through that.
Yes, just
Like tie it.
yeah,
Sort of.
exactly.
Do that thing where it's like a sort of like
Dotted
a tie,
line.
dotted tie. Yeah.
Yes, exactly. So if you're going to sing a long phrase like that, what is something that you're going to want to do?
Sort of like a Sforzando. Sort of like this little light of mine, I'm gonna let it shine. And it does like a decrescendo all through that entire phrase, and then it goes back up with a crescendo.
Yeah, I like that
At
phrasing.
the end of it.
Yeah, I like that shape. So show me a kinesthetic that reflects that.
All right.
And also, because it's a longer phrase, make sure you take a nice low diaphragmatic breath.
Yeah.
Okay.
Audible or unaudible?
Always unaudible.
Okay. This little light of mine, I'm gonna let it shine. This little light of mine, I'm gonna let it shine.
Oh, I think we're in a different key. Let's get down. Okay.
Wait.
So if
Was I?
this.
Oh, this. All right.
Yeah. This little light of mine.
All right. This little light of mine, I'm gonna let it shine. This little light of mine, I'm gonna let it shine. This little light of mine, I'm gonna let it shine, let it shine, let it shine, let it shine. I know I went out of key somewhere in there.
No, you didn't. No,
Oh, I
that was
didn't?
that's totally
Oh.
fine. When you're improvising, feel free to add chromaticism. Usually, yeah. I mean, people add chromaticism and all sorts of crazy notes. And as
Normally,
long as you bring it back to the key,
Yeah.
then that's
Cool, man.
yeah. You're
Cool
good.
beans.
That was lovely, and I could hear a difference when you use the kinesthetic. Like,
Yeah.
I think it helps your shape.
It sort of encourages like a stronger not notation. It sort of encourages stronger diaphragm.
Mm-hmm.
It encourages that.
Yeah.
Like my brother encourages Eddie to say stupid stuff all the time.
No, you're not saying stupid stuff, and there is no
it's-
stupid
he
stuff in
does.
here.
Yeah.
Okay, so yeah, that's exactly it. It encourages your abdominal muscles and your airflow to increase, volume to increase, intensity to increase,
Yeah.
or decrease.
Oh, or decrease.
Yeah, and so, oops, there we go.
Let it shine.
So, now let's see if we can do something different. I'm going to give you an idea that I'd like to hear. So, do you know what a mezzo da voce is?
No, I do not. That is not a phrase that I hear often.
Okay, so mezzo da voce is like this. So, there's a crescendo and then a decrescendo.
I thought that was Sforzando.
Sforzando is like
A give and take.
suddenly.
Oh.
Suddenly.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
All right. I
So-
thought like the crescendo decrescendo was Sforzando. No, Sforzando was sudden.
Yes.
Oh, now I remember that from a song. No, Sforzando.
Yeah.
It was
an
like a
SF.
sun thing, SFZ.
Yeah, exactly.
Mm-hmm. I see
So
that a lot in songs.
let's do a mezzo de voce. So I want you to do it.
Okay, so
I want you to
Drink Deeply thing was a mezzo de voce.
when you do it, take a nice big breath, and I want you to pace it over the span of those two first phrases without a breath in between.
Of this little light?
Mm-hmm.
All right.
So the peak of the phrase should be mine, and then we're decrescendoing to shine.
Okay. All right. This little light of mine, I'm gonna let it shine.
Were you using a kinesthetic?
Oh, no, I forgot to do that. I didn't know if you wanted me to do that.
Yes.
Probably always, yes.
Yeah, always in a rehearsal setting, unless Laura says otherwise. But
Use Sforzando?
use a kinesthetic.
I mean, kinesthetic.
Yeah.
That's what I meant.
Yeah.
All
Unless
big
Laura tells you
words.
otherwise, it does work.
Yeah, it does work.
And then
And sometimes I do it by myself and also I have been practicing sitting up.
good. That's very good.
Yeah, I practice sitting up. I sit at the end of a pew.
Mhm.
So normally I like rest my arm on a book. I mean the armrest, and I sit up.
Yeah.
And
sitting
sometimes since
like
the
you're playing
chairs are
piano.
slanted,
Mhm.
I put my coat behind it
Mhm.
to like really encourage it like a 90-degree angle.
Okay. Yeah. Sit like you would if you were playing piano.
Yeah.
Okay.
Or typing. I'm in keyboarding. It's my
Okay.
exploratory class.
Yeah. Those are both great examples. And I'm glad that you're doing that because it's going to keep your instrument aligned. Okay, so
Keyboarding
let's do this
reminds me
again.
of a lot of piano.
Let's try this again. And I'd like you to use a kinesthetic. So when you get to mine, you should be like about here.
All right.
And then finishing off the phrase.
Bringing it down. And
Yes.
it's like down here by shine.
Yes, and you don't necessarily have to pull back in because that might encourage your sound to fall back. I try to keep it moving forward always. So,
Oh,
this
okay.
little light of mine, I'm gonna let it shine.
Oh, okay.
Does that
Because
make sense?
I've been practicing my sforzando like this.
Mhm.
Sort of bringing it. That's what I do with a mezzo de voce.
Mezzo de voce.
Mezzo de voce. Isn't this sort of like a mezzo de voce? Like
Yes.
crescendo and then back down to a decrescendo.
Yeah, and you
It's
can.
like my body is piano, out here is forte.
And like I said before, with kinesthetics, there's no right or wrong answer. Just some gestures, I worry about the sound falling backwards.
Yeah.
So if you feel like your placement goes back when you do this, then keep it moving forward.
Yeah.
Okay,
Mhm.
so let's try this. Let's actually make some music here.
Phonate.
Yep, phonate.
And you only want me to go shine, right?
Yeah.
Alright,
let's
and-
do two
And do a mezzo de voce.
mezzo de voce with the peak on mine.
Mine.
Yes.
Alright. And with kinesthetic.
Yes.
This little light of mine, I'm gonna let it shine.
Very nice. Let's do the next phrase.
This little light of mine, I'm gonna let it shine.
Next phrase.
This little light of mine, I'm gonna let it shine, let it shine, let it shine, let it shine, let it shine.
Very good.
I
Yeah.
just say let it shine one more time to give me time to get back to the
Tonic.
to get back to F major.
Yeah. Yeah, and that's
I was on like D.
yeah, that's totally fine. And here's the thing: is if you're in a solo situation and it's this kind of a song, your company still follow you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's what my mom does. She figures it out like
Yep.
wherever you are when you're doing it, and it's just like whoa.
Yeah.
It's amazing how she
Yeah.
does it. She's awesome.
Yes, she is. Okay, that was very good. So let's play with this a little bit. I want you to come up with your own idea of phrasing. And use a kinesthetic. And I'll see if I can...
So, like, making my own little speedy thingy? Or, like, my type of tempo?
Yeah, you can create your own tempo, create your own rhythms, create your own phrasing. I'm giving you full creative freedom. Yes. But I want you to use a kinesthetic to reflect it.
Yeah.
And make sure that you're taking nice low breaths. Sometimes in between phrases, I see a little clavicle breath.
Yup, that always hits me. When I practice when I'm singing, taking diaphragmic breaths during singing when we have like a 8th note rest to take this kind of breath, and I seem to be doing it better, but when I'm not thinking about it, when I'm thinking about being more creative, sometimes it is instinct for me to like breathe up.
Yeah. So I'm going to challenge you to always take diaphragmatic breaths and be creative.
Yeah.
I think you can do it.
Sometimes it does work if you... it's like trying to do this. Trying to figure out two things at once, using both sides of your brain at once.
And I'll give you a helpful hint. Breathing with intention. So, breathe for the phrase that you're thinking about doing. Mm-hmm. So, like, if you want to do something really, like, kind of gung-ho, you're going to go...
Oomph.
Yeah, you're going to take a boom, a big breath. If you're going to do something kind of slow and lyrical...
And, like, so, like, if you're going to do something, like, big, like, sort of a finale, be like that, but when you're being, like, slow or dramatic, that kind of thing, be like...
Yes.
Oh.
Yeah. So, having said that, let's hear your ideas and breathe with intention.
This little light of mine, I'm gonna let it shine. This little light of mine, I'm gonna let it shine. This little light of mine, I'm gonna let it shine, let it shine, let it shine, let it shine.
Nice. You landed on the third. Yeah, that was cool. Yeah.
I tried to be creative.
Yeah, that was very creative, and I loved it. You stayed on pitch and within the key, and it was great.
I was also watching your fingers, making sure that I was on like the right chord structure, like either a 4, 5, 7, one chord.
Well, here's the thing. I know Oscar. In a
adorable.
solo situation, you may not have you will likely not have the benefit of seeing the piano.
Mm-hmm.
So,
yes.
let's try it again.
So you sort of have to do it by memory, and should I like look away and make sure?
Maybe look in the mirror.
So I can know that I'm doing good diaphragmatic breaths, kinesthetic.
Exactly.
Honestly, sometimes it helps me to watch that too.
Oh, really?
Yeah. Sometimes it does because it's on selfie mode.
Yeah, it is.
Mm-hmm.
But just so you're not tempted to look at the piano, I'll have you look in the mirror and sing it as if you were singing a solo in the church.
And do you want me to do the creative thing?
Oh, you know what? Yeah. Do the creative thing and use kinesthetics. You wouldn't use kinesthetics in a church solo, but
still, it's good practice.
Yes. So, let's hear it.
This little light of mine, I'm gonna let it shine. This little light of mine, I'm gonna let it shine. This little light of mine, I'm gonna let it shine, let it shine, let it shine, let it shine.
Yeah.
Dang it, I had like a little voice crack right there.
Well, I think you, what happened there is I think you just went a little low, like into a
Yep.
lower register.
I can't go too low. I can hit like a E, maybe, like E, maybe even an E flat. Nope, not E flat. F is within my comfort zone.
Here's the thing about lower notes, is they take just as much energy as your higher notes.
Yep.
So, let's try that.
Basses must struggle. It's like,
Well, their instrument is actually built differently too.
yeah.
So
Their lungs, the lung capacity, not lung capacity.
It's not so much the lung capacity as it is their vocal cords, their vocal folds are different. Their, I think it's called the thyroglottal. Different. Anyway,
Whatever.
They're just built differently. And who knows? How old are you now?
11.
11. So maybe in a few
12
years.
and April 12th.
Okay, so maybe in a few years you might end up being a bass. Who knows?
Yeah. Hey, cool. 12th on April 12th.
Hey, yeah, look at that.
And 12 can be divided by 4, and April is the 4th month.
Oh my gosh, look
I
at
got
you.
a cool birthday.
Mathematical. Okay, so
I'm smart now.
let's do something. Let's talk about low notes since we're on this.
Verge.
Yeah. So, like I said, they take just as much energy. So, oh wait, what did you? Let's just do that final run that you did there. I want you to face the mirror again. Take a nice breath, and then when you go down, really keep that air flowing. So use a kinesthetic going like this.
Alright, so no more of this. Use like.
Yeah, I do this, but feel free to keep pointing it.
Yeah, it usually works better when I point it. I don't know why. It's
Yeah.
like the way my hands are shaped. Or...
Everybody's body is different. So, okay. Let's just hear you do it with a kinesthetic.
Alright.
Oh, no, just that.
Oh.
Yeah. So, I want you to crescendo into that F. Let's try it again. Yeah. Can we try it on
Sometimes
that?
low notes, they're harder for me to get loud.
Yeah,
F is like on the...
Yeah.
I can't decide if that's in my comfort zone.
Nope,
yet.
that's a normal thing. And I think that is scraping the bottom of the barrel for you.
Yeah.
But
I actually
if you
used
are-
to be able to hit a D. I don't know why, but it's like my voice is always changing. So
Well,
some are my eye colors, depending
being,
on my mood.
yep,
When I'm
being a
angry,
boy
my
is
eye-
like that.
When I'm angry, my eyes get like super dark green. When I'm like happy, excited, some feeling of joy or something, they're always like super bright blue. Like, do you know who Gordon Ramsay is?
I do.
I watched like all of his shows, 24 Hours to Hell and Back. I've seen an episode of Hotel Hell.
Hang on. Let's focus.
Yep.
Because I think we're onto something. Okay. So, I do think that this is, like I said, it's kind of scraping the bottom of the barrel for you. But, I think you can achieve it. And if you're in a situation where you're soloing and you start to go down there, I want you to be able to get that note as resonant as possible. So, let's try that again. And let's change the vowel to E. So go me.
Alright.
Okay.
I have to transfer head voice in that, or like more breathy, no more chest voice. I have to go into like my breathy head voice. Hey, there's my mama.
Oh,
my mama.
Okay. So, you don't go into head voice will be higher, chest voice will be lower. And I think this is the bottom of your chest voice. But something was missing from the last time, and I think it was a kinesthetic. So,
Yup.
really quick, let's just try it one more time. Knee. Oh, look at that. That wasn't breathy at all.
Yay.
So, hey.
Hello.
Hello.
Hi.
How are you?
Good, how are you?
Good. You're looking so sparkly.
I know.
I love it.
Well, I don't very often put on such blingy shirts, but I have an event last night and tonight, and so I'm
Oh.
like, I got it out of the closet, I'm just gonna wear it.
I'm going to it. It's $50 per person, but since she's playing piano for it, I get to go
Hey.
I
free.
know.
Benefits.
Right?
And there's also
Just
like
name dropping him, okay.
fancy like dinner and
It's the Murder at the Tony Lou Awards at the
Oh,
Elks
okay.
that LRP's putting on.
Yeah.
It's hilarious.
Yeah.
So it's not very kid friendly, but I think Joey's heard probably more than what they're gonna say at
Yeah.
middle school. So I'm like,
yeah,
it's fine.
there's
As long as you aren't
weird
repeating it, right?
stuff.
Exactly.
Yeah, I don't repeat that kind of thing.
Yeah.
Those kind of things.
Yeah. That's good.
Yes.
That's good.
Scandalous things.
Wait until you're older.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So yes, he wants to continue.
Fabulous.
So I'm thinking,
I already told her that.
oh well, good. Sunday afternoons are tricky only because now one of my church friends wants her piano lesson at church right after church. So
Yeah.
I'm either gonna see if a friend is in this direction can drop him off,
Wait.
but then if her lessons,
Wait.
or he can just hang out or
Oh,
something, and I'll bring him after her. You know.
It's really whatever is clever.
Okay.
Right now, my availability is fairly open in the evenings.
And then he's got Wiz right now, which is going to take
Yeah.
over until April, and so that's kind of because evenings
Yeah.
are good.
Yeah.
So-
And I-
Yeah.
I
Well,
have
they go
rehearsals,
to
too.
6 to 7,
Yeah.
so maybe I could come have my lesson at 5:30.
No,
and
sometimes
then,
they go till like 9, and I teach.
I mean like, yeah.
But remember, I don't have the availability to bring you until like after 6:30. So that's the
Well,
catch.
and Jason teaches until 6.
Right. So you don't even have a
6:30
piano
yeah.
until okay.
Yeah.
Yep.
So,
Mm.
yeah, I'm trying to think if there's any, I think it's Sunday nights and Wednesday nights. I will be unavailable because
Okay.
I'm doing Verity's Requiem.
Okay.
And then, I'm gonna try to talk him out of making me rehearse on Tuesdays, but, I do have a rehearsal on Fridays.
Okay.
And those go, I think, until like 6.
Right. And then
So,
that but that's in you. Is that here?
that's in Eugene.
Oh, okay. So,
So-
that's kind of just out. And
Yeah.
Fridays are starting to get into like our sacred like. Friday night at the end of my week, I'm like,
Yeah,
I don't want
can't.
to hear
Yeah,
piano
those
again. I don't
are-
want to. Yeah.
And
Friday
I'm
nights
kind
are
of
Exactly.
feeling the same
So
way.
Friday and Saturdays are like sacred, but
Yeah, but Mondays are okay for me. Tuesdays should be okay for me. Wednesdays will not work, and then Thursdays should be okay for me. Saturdays are okay.
right. But there's
Um,
still that's our one day where I don't have something going on.
And
Yeah,
that's
it's
my
seasonal.
one day.
Yeah,
That's
I'm
who
not
knows, next week
impede
I will.
on- Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't care.
Let's stick
about
to that.
this.
Can you hang
So-
on?
No.
Can we talk about our schedules really
Yeah.
quick? Okay, thank
I
you.
can do
Then
this
you can-
anytime. I love this.
I know. You have way more availability than both of us. So hold on a second.
Yeah.
Um,
Yeah.
Sundays after church is probably the best, and I'll just figure out a more consistent time. That way, you're not just like, oh, anytime after 11, I'm committed. I hate as a
I mean,
teacher. I hate that.
It's
so
not like I don't have a gazillion things that I need
that's
to
true.
be doing
Going
at the
over.
piano.
Okay, that's true.
So-
So let's leave it Sunday afternoons, and I'll just kind of try to sneak a text during church and be like, okay,
Yeah.
I think we'll be out in half an hour.
Yeah,
So-
and that works totally fine for me.
Okay. Yeah. And maybe it is that my friend wants to go get her lunch anyway. So she maybe while he's doing this, she'll go eat and then we'll meet back at the church. So I'll figure that end of things out.
Yeah.
Okay. So
Awesome.
as soon as